We're going to try and get this fun little springtime primrose done on a piece of watercolor paper with watercolor pencils and pens. Let's see how it goes. Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I am here with this fun little primrose. Now I drew this up and I have it on my website. The link is down below in the more information. I want to use some watercolor pencils, maybe a couple watercolor pens, and a water brush or just a regular brush dipped in water. Primroses are one of the first flowers that bloom around my house. And I am going to take a piece of this Serral paper. It is wax-free transfer paper. And this packet is a sampler and it comes with white, graphite, yellow, blue, and red. I do have the link down below in the more information if you're interested in finding this for yourself. Any links that are in my description below do have affiliate links attached to them. So I will earn a small commission if you happen to make a purchase on Amazon or on Arteza, because I'll be using some Arteza products also. Now I'm going to quickly, and I will fast forward this part, quickly trace on this little primrose design. That looks good. Now the only thing that I realize is that I think I did this upside down. I like it better this way. There's more of a base to it. So starting off here, the very centers of my flowers, I am going to go in with a bit of this pear green, just to the very, very center. If I see the center, I can put in some green. There's no center there to see. Then I am actually going to put, these flowers are going to be blue. And I did go online and print out, and my printer is running out of ink. I really liked the colors in this. These are a zebra primrose. This is off of the Spring Hill gardening catalog. And I'm not drawing, as you can see, I'm not drawing their flowers, but I'm looking at this. I really enjoy the look of these zebra blue primroses. So they have that kind of green tone down in the very center. Then they have sort of a honey yellow with an orange for the next layer back. So this sort of honey yellow for the little star in the center. And I do have that blue, and I'm not sure what I'm going to think of that after all is said and done, if I should have done that blue or not. For most of it, the darker blue and the green are going to do just fine. It is sort of water soluble, so if I brush it a little bit, it kind of blends in, kind of makes it a little bit green toned, but that's okay. I can deal with that. That's actually not too bad. I hope you guys are enjoying your springtime, that you're getting a chance. Well, it's not really spring yet. I know, it's still winter. But I am in a springtime mood. I am ready for springtime flowers and just getting out. We did go and do a little camping trip this weekend. So much fun. Took the van out. If anybody is interested in, at some point I could do maybe a live show, live from the van making artwork. Anybody interested in that? Let me know in the comments below. I think I want to go ahead and put some of the dark green in with the pen also. Maybe this deep foresty green. Get some of that in here in just those spaces that are right underneath of everything. Nice and deep in. I am working on top of Arteza 100% cotton paper. It's a really nice, it's a nice paper. It's a nice weight to make cards and things like that with, card fronts. I like how it releases the pigments, allows them to flow. I did try doing some painting on the Arteza premium paper, I think is what it is. This is the Arteza expert paper on their premium paper, and it was a little bit less than satisfactory. Some of the colors just really grabbed in and it wouldn't release the color. I just felt like I was fighting the paper to get the colors to move. So this, I don't have that problem. Right now we're just using the pen to get in here and get some of these deep areas, places where there's going to be deeper shadow. I'm not going to run this right along the spine of the flowers. I know that looks super, super dark, doesn't it? We're going to work it. We're going to work it around. Should be good. I'm hoping. So now we've got that there, there, and down along here. Kind of where the shadows are going to be. There. Tiny little bit right up here. All right, so first off, at this point right now, I am going to go ahead and get this a little bit wet. What do I need to get it wet? I need a brush. So let's go ahead and just grab. This is getting a little bit worn out on the edges, but I'm going to see if I can soften up those colors just a bit coming out. But it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth or anything. Just soften so you don't have such a hard edge at the shadow. I like that. That's working. That is making me happy. Soften up those edges. Okay, we're going to go into fast forward while I soften these edges. All right, so I'm noticing here that I need a little bit more depth in the shadows. So I grabbed that forest green pen again. And I am so happy with how much depth and detail I'm getting from just that one color of pen. All of the leaves, it was all done with just the forest green. This pen blew my socks off. All right. Back to the painting. now we have the basic layer of the leaves on. We're going to dry this really quick. I need an eraser. Let's see if we can take some of that extra blue off. Oh, yes. So now I'm just using the kneaded eraser, rolling it around back and forth. Lifting it off. I can still see the flowers. But now it won't impact the rest of the painting so much. I was fighting with it a little bit down here on the leaves. Generally, you want the least amount of information on the paper as you can get away with and still be able to see your picture. That almost looks like I used masking, but I didn't. Now, I want to get this, sorry for the bad copy, but it has a very pale, pale blue, almost white. I have a periwinkle blue Arteza Expert watercolor pencil, and I'm going to just basically give a background layer to all of these flowers. And I'm not even worried about that spot where I, drop some other color. No big deal. I might go in, as I'm doing this, I'm going to give just a little bit of a shadow edge so I know where the edges of my flowers are. Little tricks. Find the little tricks that work for you. And then I'm going to softly and lightly put color in. This is going to be fairly soft wash. I will be taking some, I probably use the pen in a pretty blue to go in and do my zebra striping, veining of these flowers. But first I just want a base coat of this blue. So I'm just going to color all the way around. Then I'll take my brush with water and smush it out. And yeah, smush, that's a technical term. Actually, no, it's a made-up term, but it is a made-up term to do, basically, it's one of those, it's like it sounds, sort of smush the water and paint around. Now just put a light coat of this periwinkle. Periwinkle is like an ultramarine with a bunch of white in it. So it goes almost a soft lavender blue type of tone. And if it's too much color, I can always go back in. Now there was a little bit of the green from my leaves still in my brush. It's okay. Doesn't bother me too much. Right now what we're doing is we're just dissolving that blue, and if a little bit of the green from the background sort of leaks into the blue flowers, that's fine. It's kind of fun to see that sort of happen, especially when you're working with pens and pencils and not regular fluid watercolor. Some of these things are just going to be magical the way they happen. But I just want to get the watercolor pencil sort of melted down a little bit. And, if you go into your yellow pen, it is going to pick up. So be careful around those edges. And I don't mind if I have some little sparkly edges that are left over here with white. That's fine with me also. Use royal blue to put these fun little veins in. And if you look at these veins, they do not go all the way out to the very edge. The very edge is left with the background color. And I'm looking at that going, you're not as thick down here in the center next to the yellow. There's almost a little halo of light around the yellow. So come out from there and then start working in lines straight out or curving out, and then branching off as it heads to the edges. And this is a natural type of flower. It's not a fake flower. So looking at that going, all right. So we're going to go from the center out to the edge. But we're not going to go all the way to the edge. Kind of going the way the flower curves. Light touch, and as you come out to the ends, you start getting the veins. Light touch. Try not to go all the way to the edge. But if you do, it's not the end of the world. They're your flowers, and they can look however you make them look. Oh, I like that though. Now, I may have to go back in and define the edges of my petals with a white pen. And so when I do that, it will be the Signo Uniball UM153 broad tip white pigment ink pen. You can use acrylic paint if you want. This is for a card. I'm not too worried about it. If you're worried about longevity, some people are concerned that the gel pens turn yellow, but I haven't had a problem with my Uniball pen turning yellow, and I do have some things that are a few years old now. So now this is coming across here. Let's see. Well, let's go and do this one. Let's from the center out towards the edge. And this could be very meditative. It's very peaceful and relaxing. You're basically just following the edge of your petals. And as you get out to the edges is when you start to put your veins on. The extra veins. I love how these are called blue zebras. I'd like to find them and grow some for myself, I think. I live in an area where primroses grow really nicely, and I have actually had primroses that would be almost perennial, where they would come back a couple years in a row. It would all depend on, the weather that year. Now we're just going right over that area where I'd put that fog gray that I didn't like. Not even going to notice it. It's just going to be part of the background. Oh, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to just rotate this around. See, I'm coming to this one. Maybe a couple more little veins there. A couple more little veins here. You just work them in as much as you want. Now here I have there's an edge. So I'm just working my way around, remembering not to go over into the petals that are on top, because this petal here is from underneath. See how I'm leaving sort of a halo of an edge? Okay, I'm going to go into fast forward and just keep doing this. I'll meet you back in a flash. Okay, so I was sitting here and thinking, well, maybe I'll put a few little lines into these leaves. Not very many. I kind of don't really want to draw too much attention to them. These flowers are really the star, so I'm just taking the same blue and deepening up a little bit of the shadow on that green because it just sort of blends right down in. I'm going to take that white pen, give it a little bit of some sparkle here and there, right along those edges. And this pen does absorb and transfer some of that, the dye from the pens. So it's kind of fun because it won't be stark white. It will just be a tone of that blue. See, just like that. All right. Along that edge. Along this edge. Well, that's working just fine. And if it doesn't roll out perfectly every single spot and it skips a little bit, that's okay. That's just like, you know, the real flowers. They don't have perfect edges. It's kind of fun like this. Let's see. And then the white around the yellow also. It will tone. It will become a bit more yellowy, but give a little bit of that halo type effect. I hope that you have enjoyed this sweet little lesson taking us into springtime. I hope you will share this video with your friends. Make sure to click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Remember that I do free art lessons every week. I've been doing a live art lesson on one day a week and a fun pre-recorded lesson just like this one every Monday. So there's always a pre-recorded lesson on Mondays, and most of the time there's a lesson on another day of the week. I'm not guaranteeing which day of the week. Right now, it's on Thursdays at 11. But as the summer progresses, you know, things change, and sometimes vacations happen and family happens. And remember that I'm doing this free here on YouTube. If you want to support my channel, you can go and join my Patreon. All right, I need to sign this painting. We are going to use, well, maybe a softer blue-gray here. Yeah, that's nice. This is the Parma Gray. This is my quick little signature glyph. If you want to support my channel and help me continue to make free videos here on YouTube, I do have a Patreon. It is listed down below, and I do fun things over there. You know, share behind the scenes, share pretty little project packs and coloring sheets with my patrons. Look at this. Isn't it pretty? I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I hope to see you over in the next playlist. We'll see you there.